This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, this is Barry Bostwick. Talk about nerds. I played a very famous nerd named Brad Majors in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and you're listening to Nerd Corp, and it's a podcast. And please, keep listening.
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
We're 1 week away from the release of Resident Evil 2.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Is it Old Wrinkly Ball Appreciation Day?
God, I hope so.
Your day has not come yet.
Fuck!
Soon, brother.
When you're hearing this, we are 12 days away from a monumentous release.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I already said that.
Is it the release of Merriam-Webster adding monumentous to the dictionary?
Is that not a word? Monumentous?
Momentous?
Monumental.
Monumental?
Momentous.
Momentous is not a fucking... Hey, Siri. Is momentous a word? No, it's...
Okay, I found something on the web for is demantis a word?
Demantis. Not
Domantis.
Mantis Toboggan.
It's a big fucking release.
Is Mandingo a word?
It's Kingdom Hearts 3. Fuck you all.
It's none of those things today. Well, the release says yeah. But it's a podcast day. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 3, Red Dead 2, Epilogue 3. We're here today to finally talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 in all of its glory with full spoilers. So if you haven't played the game yet, don't listen to this podcast until you have.
Get out. Get out of here.
Go ahead and listen to any one of our other wonderful episodes, but don't listen to this one unless you played Red Dead 2.
Or unless you
Or
don't
if
care.
if you just don't care
Or
about it.
if you just don't care. Yes, he loves spoilers. She's just like, tell me what happened.
Yeah, I remember that. I was, that one night we were drinking at your house a little bit, Eddie, and it was just the four of us, and you were passed out at the time, but I think me and Yessie were talking about movies on the couch, or a TV show. And I was like, well, yeah, this is going to happen in the show. And she's like, just fucking tell me. I love spoilers.
Well, and you guys actually inadvertently spoiled one part of Red Dead for me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't, whatever. But, yeah, like it was about when Arthur ends up getting TB and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what?
That's kind of like one of those spoilers, though, that... Yeah.
Like, in the end, I mean, I knew he was going to die anyway. Like, you can just tell. But, like... And, like, the thing is, too... I mean, it wasn't much of a spoiler anyway, because the second that Arthur kind of starts coughing... Like, I would have known anyway.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, oh!
Easy there, black lung.
I got the black lung pop.
No, as soon as, like, you went to the doctor and he told you that, and he wasn't just like, well, let me fix you up with something. He was just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, well, fucking, he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Let's get on with the nerd news.
You don't tell me what to do.
All right. So, I have information that says new Nintendo leak possibly pointing at N64 and GameCube classic consoles coming soon.
Which is awesome.
These would be like the definitive ones that I would buy.
Yeah, same.
I still have my Nintendo 64 and it's very finicky.
Got mine right there.
Yeah, mine you just kind of have to jiggle the game just right to get it to work. But
Did you see that ridiculous video circulating on Facebook the other day of the guy, like, pounding the cartridge in the 64? I'm like... Stop.
I was like, he's blowing on the cartridge, ignoring the warning on the back of the game that we all did.
How dare he?
But
well, I mean, like, everyone did that, so I can't fault him for that. But like the way that he would like slam it down into the console, I'm like, no fucking shit. No wonder it doesn't work. Good Lord.
But like, if this is any like speculation, I mean, I can already think of a few games on each one that like they would absolutely have to put on there, like GoldenEye on the 64.
Oh fuck yeah!
Pilot Wings, like Wave Race,
Star Fox 64,
and
Ocarina
then
of Time,
Mario Kart 64.
Yep, Super Mario 64.
And then when you go over to GameCube, there's 3 games.
Gotta have Clay Fighter on there.
Like maybe just 2. Okay, 4 games in specific that I would like on the GameCube: Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess.
Yep.
Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys ever played Eternal Darkness.
No, I've never played it.
That game was that was a horror game on the GameCube, and it was like not
I have a hard time
typical of them to make that, but that game is awesome.
I have a hard time thinking that those games are going to be on there though.
That's just like my hope.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like they definitely deserve to be on there,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're gonna stray from doing it because these are like family oriented.
Like do more classically thought of as Nintendo
like even
type games.
Even though I think Metroid Prime needs to be on there, like that's like like there's no other reason. Like it needs to be on the GameCube Classic. But I think that it doesn't. Metroid never really gathers enough, like sale wise, to be able to merit to be on that console. I don't know though. I mean, we could be here all fucking day with the GameCube on like what games should be on there. The GameCube the GameCube was such an underrated console. I love that thing so much.
Very and
it was one of my favorite shapes. I mean,
Lunchbox.
Even though the controller of the GameCube, like you get it and you look at it and you're like, I just got over the N64 controller. What the hell is this? And then you actually start playing with it and it works. I love the GameCube controller.
The GameCube controller is like one of my favorite controllers of all time. I love that controller.
Which WWE game came out for the GameCube?
GameCube? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I know that with my 64, I have WCW NWO Revenge, which is one of the best wrestling games of all time.
I had WWE No Mercy.
No Mercy was like the brother of that game.
Yeah.
It had the exact same play style, just WWF, and I really enjoyed that one too.
Yeah. Remember Aki Man?
Yeah. Like all the weird ass like custom characters that they put in the game, like THQ Man.
Yeah.
There was some weird people in that game, but
It really was.
I just love the intro video where the truck driver's like driving and all of a sudden Sting just appears in the road and he's like, "What the hell?" I was like, "What does this do?" Like,
What are you?
What is that?
News on the comic book front or the comic book movie front. Disney and Fox merged, as we all know, and because of that, a lot of the Fox Marvel movies that were in development are no longer in development. So that means Gambit, Doctor Doom. I can't remember what the other ones were. Trying to pull it up. Oh, Silver Surfer, Kitty Pryde, and Multiple Man. Those were all canceled. X-Force, if it can start in the next 2 months, will live. But as far
I really hope so.
But as far as like any of those movies that were in development, New Mutants is the last Fox Marvel movie to be made.
is it just because it was so close to being done, or?
Yeah, I think it was already like in wrap up and all that shit. But
fuck, man, does that mean that the Alien franchise is now owned by Disney?
It means everything is now owned by Disney.
That sucks.
yeah, dude. I don't know how I feel about it. Like Silver Surfer, Kitty Pryde, and Doctor Doom, yeah, but fucking Multiple Man. Like Multiple Man is so henchman, I think, for me. Like I can't remember if they had any Multiple Man comics out there, but like that just doesn't seem like one of those movies that will stand alone.
I liked Multiple Man. Jamie Madrox is a really cool character. and they could definitely do some cool shit with it.
Yeah.
But
I did have extremely high hopes for a Gambit movie.
Yeah, me too. I
And-
wanted to see what Channing Tatum would have done with it.
well,
Oh,
and, you
yeah.
know, and I wanted a Silver Surfer movie that would actually do justice to Silver Surfer and to the world that he was in. You know, like
Apart
I don't-
from the Fantastic Four.
I don't
movie.
care what movie it's in. Actually, fuck it.
Yeah.
Give me a Galactus, a proper Galactus, not a fucking space cloud. Give me fucking Galactus.
Yeah, even if it's just like the giant Galactus head
Yeah.
in space, like just do that.
Yeah, just give me fucking Galactus.
Fucking I saw this fan poster that was made, and it's Tony Stark in that spaceship,
Oh yeah.
and he's got
Oh, I
his
saw
hand
that.
he's got his hand out like pressing the glass, and on the other side of the glass was Silver Surfer getting ready to like grab him and stuff. How
I
cool
would
that
love that.
I would shit my pants if that happened. Mm-hmm. I would flip shit.
Silver Surfer's like, what you doing out here?
So
Hey, bud.
So last night I watched Bandersnatch, and fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like
I still need to finish it.
I still need to watch it.
I finished it because like I got to the because there's certain points where you'll see like end credits, but it will take you back if you made a wrong choice. But
Yeah.
I finally got to the end credits, and I waited for a second, and then like the Netflix logo popped up, and then it just instantly started playing like the Black Mirror TV show, and I was like, oh, so that was it. But oh my god, like I want to spoil it, but I don't want to spoil it.
Did you get into the fight with the?
Oh yeah, oh
this
yeah.
this is a Red Dead spoiler cast.
But like some of the stuff that I did in there, I was just like, holy shit! Like, and then the
That's
twist,
really cool.
the twist at the end, like, just blew me away. And I was like, it was just so well done, and it took you, like, if you made a wrong choice, it would take you down. You wouldn't know it at first, but it would take you down this path, like, for like 10, 15 minutes, and something would happen, and then it would take you all the way back to the beginning. And I was like,
So you could make the alternate choice.
Yeah.
Did you see that the creator of the Choose Your Own Adventure series is suing them now?
Yeah.
Really?
What the fuck, dude?
That's stupid.
Yep.
For damages.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
What
it-
damages? If anything, it'll
It'll get people to go, oh, remember those? And then they'll like
Go
it'll give
buy
a little-
I
get a
do
little
remember
boost.
those. I read those in like elementary school
Yeah, same
all the
here.
time.
I mean, I think this will give them a little boost, you know, if
Yeah.
anything.
didn't
People are
um
just too sue happy nowadays.
Oh, I
It's
know.
ridiculous.
wasn't it
Well, isn't like Carlton suing Epic Games?
I mean, like,
Yeah.
the Carlton thing was... I was like, okay, whatever. It was the fucking Backpack Kid, where I'm like, you really think... Your name is Backpack Kid.
Yeah.
You really think you have a snowball's chance in hell of winning this lawsuit? No. Go back to school.
I hate that fucking kid because my kids are doing his stupid ass dance all the time.
Makes me want to die.
My youngest is like,
Obsessed.
he does it just like that fucking kid.
What were you saying, Nick?
I was gonna say I want to say, was it Goosebumps that had Choose Your Own Adventure, or was
They
it like
had a
another
book.
book
Oh, did they?
series?
Yeah, they had
They had a series.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
Because I remember reading this one about like sharks and stuff like that, and like it fucking just drew me in, and I was like in 5th grade.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody other than the Choose Your Own Adventure people.
I didn't
had
even
done
know
those.
it was a real fucking book.
Yeah.
I thought it was just something that Black Mirror had made up.
No, those books were so fun as a kid.
Oh yeah, dude, I loved the shit out of those. I would literally go through and do every possible combination of the different options just because it was just so fun, you know, like
Yeah, isn't that... I mean, like, wasn't that the allure? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the amount
of-
absolutely.
the amount of, like, quantity of different stories that you would get.
I remember, dude, because like, and it was so funny. I was always so cautious. Like when it said turn to this page, I'd like keep my finger on the
Yeah,
on
oh, yeah,
the,
dude.
and then I'd like go over to the ending, and if it says you're dead, the
You're
end,
like,
I was
fuck.
And so I didn't have to like flip back to the other one, dude. Those books were so fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, I liked it. I thought Bandersnatch was a good episode, but at the same time, I'm like, give me more. Give me more.
Yeah.
Give me more Black Mirror. That show is so good.
Yeah, that
so
show
good.
Well,
is
I'm
way
definitely, because I started watching it a while ago, and I just it just fell off the radar for me because I got like enveloped in other things. But I'm definitely like gonna start picking that show back up because I only got into like episode 3, but
it gets
actually the one thing that got me into it was that Smodcast where Kevin Smith was talking about the first couple episodes.
Yeah, the one about the
first episode with the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister has to fuck a pig or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about the girl that, like, the lady that gets, like, emails from her dead sister or whatever it was.
Dude,
oh, yeah. That's
hands down the best episode of Black Mirror is called Shut Up and Dance.
Is that the second one?
I don't know
where
what one it is, but
it starts out with the black guy and he's, like, in the room with the TV screen.
This is the one where the kid basically gets caught doing something bad.
And
then that is the most mind-blowing, mind-bending piece of fucking fiction oh my god.
Did you ever watch Torchwood? I don't remember.
No, I only watched like the first like 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay. Cuz that's what I loved about Torchwood is it's a spin-off from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Okay. And Doctor Who's a really tame show. It's family oriented, for the most part. And first episode of Torchwood, they come up against an alien who fucks people to death. So and I was like, oh, so that's all right. That sets the tone.
Sign me up.
It was so funny. I was like, okay, no, I'm down with this. Let's fucking go.
My favorite Black Mirror episode was one called San Junipero.
That one's fucking awesome.
It's about
Did somebody just die?
That's like one of those ones that, because Black Mirror is like, it's got this weird dichotomy where it has this like horrible future where the technology is basically devouring us and like we're mindless drones to our own technology, and then it'll hit you with an episode where it's like, you know what, here's a fucking feel good story.
Yeah.
And that episode that you're talking about is one of those ones for me.
Yeah, San Junipero, it's pretty much just like an immersive Second Life game. You just go to any period in time, you could do anything, and it's crazy to see just like there are 2 people that fall in love in there, and it's just a crazy show. Like,
isn't it like a dating thing too? Like is that the same episode where it's like a dating sim?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's dope.
Black Mirror's rad, dude.
Okay, so my bit of nerd news is really just a small bit of news. Game of Thrones Season 8 will premiere on April 14th.
Wiener, wiener, wiener,
wiener, wiener, wiener, wiener,
wiener, next to another wiener.
Start a band.
I think we pulled that off just right.
I think we did. I think that was wonderful.
God, I hope it turns out good.
I'm hoping.
I think careful. I think Cole's still sore on the wiener subject.
Oh yeah, don't bring up wiener,
bro. You can stick a wiener up my ass. I don't give a fuck.
Thick as fuck, bro.
It's like the only time that joke like works in a coherent sentence.
So before we get into Red Dead, we all got a chance to play the one-shot demo for Resident Evil.
Yes.
And I think, Cole, you hit it on the head when you said that the hype for this game has now gone through the roof.
I was
Dude,
already
so
excited.
Smooth.
I was already excited as fuck for this game, but I kind of put it on the back burner because I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of games, and Kingdom Hearts 3 is the GOAT, so we're like, all the hype is already for that game, but then, holy shit, yeah, this... And the thing is that it looks clunky. Like when you look at like trailers, and it might just be me, but like trailers of gameplay and stuff, like Leon looks like he's kind of having a hard time moving, and it just kind of seems really clunky. But then when you sit down and you like play it, it's the complete opposite.
Because when you said that like on the message board,
yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, all right, well, whatever, we'll check it out. And like, when I was playing, I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. This shit's smooth as butter.
Yeah, it's great.
You should see it on a PC. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Fucking PC master. Actually.
No, there's no actually. That is correct.
I fucking loved it. Like, and I love how it's not a straight remake. It's got all the elements, the puzzles. It's got all, the shooting style, the third person over the shoulder shooting style that 4 had, which is fucking dope. But it's kind of like a repackaging because it's not all the same. You know what I mean? Like zombies and all that other shit is the same, but it's different.
In the original, Marvin is like you find him bleeding out.
Yeah.
But we talked about this on our previous.
Been canceled.
We talked about this on our previous cast when we did Resident Evil, but he like turns and you have to fucking kill him, and he's in that office that you go into. But like when I ran into him, I was like, "Oh shit, dude! I know exactly who this is." And like he gives you the knife, and then not to mention that when you stab a zombie with the knife, you have to go back and get it. Like that shit blew me away.
Yeah, and like there are knives all over the world.
Yeah, and the other thing that got to me is when you open the metal gate and you go through that door. In the original game, that's where you see the liquor.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there, and I was like, oh, maybe it's later.
Maybe they
But
forgot.
you see it later.
In that window.
When you fucking see it crawl across, I was like, oh my god.
I whipped the shotgun out, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hell no.
Catch these hands!
See, I like the fact, it doesn't hold your hand, like, it expects you to fucking figure it out. But I love the fact that when you go to the map, it tells you whether or not you've fully explored a room.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool. I like that.
4 did that too. Like, the explored areas were open and the unexplored ones were red, I think it was.
Yeah, blue and red.
And it just had your goal, like, where you had to go, and then it's just like, all right, yeah, you fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, this is where you have to go, like, get here.
I really dug it. Like,
that did kind of suck for a 30-minute demo. Like, it didn't suck. It just made me sad.
They gotta sell the game.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
thing.
I know.
They know that motherfuckers like me and Nick are gonna go back and play that every fucking day until the game comes out.
I played it twice because I got it on my PS4 and then I went turned around and downloaded it on Steam.
Dude, if I already told myself, like, if I don't finish this in the 30 minutes, I'm just going to go on my wife's profile and try to finish it then. And then if not, I've got like 3
kids.
Just
sign up a new thing and get the PS Plus trial and just keep going. No, but the Steam version of the demo had achievements.
Oh, did it?
So it's like 10 minutes of game, played for 10 minutes, 20, 25, and 30. And like, I was like, okay, like, PlayStation didn't have this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, opening thoughts of the demo. You're going in, and the first thing is that they really nail the tension. It's very scary. It's a very scary game. In fact, it had me jump twice. Actually, now that I think about it, it had me jump twice.
Yes, he was watching with me, and it was the part where you go under the grate and it's all like fucking dark or whatever. And I was about to go through a door, and so Yessie has her hands up over her face. And she's kind of just looking. Yeah. And then, like, you hear this, like, music swell, but nothing happens. But, like, as soon as the music stops swelling, I, like, grabbed her by the arm and went, yeah. And she slaps me so hard.
Another thing is, this game did not hold back on the gore factor.
No.
Holy shit.
Awesome.
I shot a zombie's head in half, and it was still there. And when you're going through the dark hall and you hear the backup being called, and you go and investigate it, and the dude's jaw is just hanging down.
Jesus Christ, I know.
That was so cool.
I remember it was that time when at like the very end of the demo where you jump or you fall down into that like library type deal. And I had a big fat zombie, which A fucking plus on the zombies. These zombies are great.
Yes.
They're scary.
Yes.
They're visceral looking. They fucking they hunt you down. And not only that, like, they got rid of the whole headshots do more damage thing. Like,
well, that's
if
how
they're dead,
they're
dead.
Yeah, like that's how it was in the original 2, where it didn't matter where you shot them at. Like you had to shoot them like 5 or 6 times for them to go down.
So I shot a zombie in the head with the shotgun at a relatively far away like distance, and I saw his face, and like his entire like half of his head is gone, like the front half of his face is gone, so his fucking face is gone, but there's like holes all over in his head, and he's still coming towards me. I'm like, you did it. You fucking did it, Capcom.
They need to have ones like like the Britney Spears on South Park, where the top half of her head is missing.
Don't speak too soon, because I'm sure that it's there. Like, it seemed like they had like a model. It seems like they had a model of the head that like reacted to where the bullets hit.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, I'm so
and
excited
then
for this game.
Something that wasn't anywhere in the original one or any of them was the fact that you could pick up plywood and like board up the windows.
Yeah.
Well, see, and I was confused about that because like before I had gotten any plywood, like when that one zombie comes crashing through the window, and then it's got an X there. And I was like, what? So can I crawl out the window? No, it just wants me to use an item. I don't have an item to put on. What the fuck? What is this? And then I got the boards and I was like,
like, I don't have a cigarette I can smoke next to the window.
I do love how it's using the RE engine, basically the same engine that was used for Resident Evil 7. Yeah, this game is skyrocketed to most anticipated. Yeah. I'm super excited for this game.
Putting my Best Buy pre-order down on Friday. Like,
I already went and got it all pre-ordered. I'm so excited.
Gotta get that steelbook, my dude.
Quick little tangent. Best Buy is the most aggravating fucking place to go and shop at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you have 6 or 7 different people at one time walking towards your general vicinity to ask you if you are okay, if you know what you're doing, if you're breathing. Fuck off. Like, dude, I don't need your fucking help. Okay?
Sir,
I know more.
Do you need CPR?
You should do that thing that Ron Swanson does when someone...
I know more than you.
I legit, like, every time I walk through Best Buy, I'm like, it gets really close, and Angela's like, come on, like, we need to go, because he's getting really mad, we need to go. Yeah, and not only that, like, I asked the guy at the front, because I went to go, that's the whole reason why I fucking went, I went to go and pre-order Resident Evil, because the only way you can get a steelbook for this game is for... Why are you doing that?
Because your hand's there. I don't know.
You gotta be so fucking weird.
Yes, I do.
God damn,
I
dude.
do.
God for sake.
It's like Mike or Moss on IT Crowd says. He's got style and he's got weird. That's what he's got. Okay. That's all he's got, and that's what he goes with.
I lost my train of thought, but
Resident Evil pre-order.
The only way.
Oh, that's the only way you get a steelbook, is if you pre-order it from Best Buy. Because apparently Best Buy has got the fucking steelbook game on lock, and nobody else can copy this.
Yeah, like we mentioned
I don't fucking get it.
On our last one, you can just go buy the steelbooks like for $5.
Which is really weird because the scaling is... I feel like it scales from like how bad the game is, because Fallout 76... it's subjective, I know, I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
The Fallout 76 case is $5, and then the Battlefield one is $20. So it's like, what? Why? Like, even the Fallout one is made with a better material. So I don't. There's got to be a science behind it, but I don't understand it.
Shut up, Cole.
Well, it's like when I got because I've been playing Ni no Kuni 2 lately, and when I bought that game at GameStop, it was like the collector's edition. It was,
you lucky son of a bitch. You want to know how much I paid for that? I paid $100 for that.
Yeah, mine was $30 new.
Yeah.
And they, like, Brian was packaging it up for me, and I get home and I open it, and it has the steelbook.
That's a fucking awesome steelbook.
With the soundtrack in it.
Yep.
And then the actual game case with the game in it, and I'm like, why do I have both of these? And then I was like, if I ever trade this game in, I can just trade it in with the regular case and
it's
keep
the same.
steelbook.
Yeah, it's the same way that Best Buy is doing it, because you get the actual game that it comes with, and then it's like the steelbook is a different case, a separate case.
Fine with me.
So yes, Resident Evil 2, big deal, big fucking deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna pre-order the digital edition this week.
Fucking deal this big.
This fucking big.
I did want to mention, this has really nothing to do with nerd news. I just wanted to kind of touch on it, especially since it's like, literally and figuratively so close to home. So I just wanted to kind of just mention this. I think it was either yesterday or today. There was a shooting at Fashion Place Mall in Sandy.
Oh, was there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
2 dead, I think.
Injured, actually.
Oh.
And there's actually footage of them, like, being helped outside the mall. Like,
Wow.
Shit.
they're laying there, and it's not like any video footage I've seen. Like, you can see, like, the hole in their leg, and they're, like, bleeding, and there's, like, blood on the
Jesus
ground.
Christ.
And it was really interesting, and I thought it was really cool because, like, people were gathered around. Like, in the thumbnail, you can see this dude who's, like, tying a tourniquet on the chick's leg, and he's, like,
So good.
he's
dude.
swole as fuck, so I don't know if he's, like, in the army or whatever, but I was like, yeah, that blew my mind because people started talking about it, and then, like, I saw the video of it, and I was like, oh my god. So hope everybody's okay on that front.
So, do they know anything about the situation? Like, what?
No, last
Sounds like
I
another
heard they were
psychotic
just kind
asshole.
of, they barricaded a bunch of places off, and they were still looking for whoever it was. But I saw, like,
Man, I
video
guess somebody
of
doesn't like fashion.
somebody was, like, filming in the mall, and, like, somebody pulled the fire alarm, and people just walking around like, what the hell? And then you just hear, like, pop, 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 and then people just take off running.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, holy shit.
Another, on a positive note,
Yes.
we've hit 700 downloads
Nice.
out of 35 videos.
No shit.
Out
Wow.
of 35 episodes that we've done as the Nerd Corporation, this one being 36, we've had 700 downloads
Fuck yeah.
from
Hell yeah.
all over the world. We've got active listeners in the UK, Sweden.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude.
Hello.
Yeah. So
Cheerio.
shout out to our friends in Sweden. Shout out to our friends in the UK.
Don't forget to share.
Yeah. Share and let everybody know that you love us just like we
We get
love
to
you.
share some of that universal health care.
Can we get some of that over here? Is it?
Not in our
much to ask?
administration.
Can we get some of that 60-hour work week?
Can we get? Could you all got any more of that?
Y'all got any more of that universal health? But yeah, so thank you so much. We are appreciative of you. We love you, and thank you for supporting us.
Definitely.
Seriously.
700
That's awesome.
700 downloads from 3 different countries on 35 episodes.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fucking rad.
I think we're doing fucking phenomenal, and we'll continue to grow from here.
So when do we get paid?
If you'd like to subscribe to our Patreon,
Wait, we don't get paid for this?
I mean, I haven't gotten a check of you.
No.
I'm keeping them all. Fucking, but yeah, so thank you so much. We're gonna have stickers, just like we said. We're gonna have stickers soon. We've got t-shirts coming. We've got all kinds of merch and all kinds of swag for you guys. So hopefully that'll bring in more for us to do. It'll bring more money in for us to
Do more shit.
do more shit, give you guys more stuff.
Do some giveaways.
Yeah, giveaways and all that stuff. So, yeah, thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. We love you, and you are awesome.
You're all right.
Yeah, you're okay.
You're okay, boy.
You're all right.
Speaking of, let's get to the matter at hand. Red Dead Redemption 2. We can finally talk about it because we've all played it through all the way. And, Derek, you flew through that game, dude.
Jesus, dude. That game took me,
Well,
2 months to play all the way through?
dude.
but I mean, at the time, school still wasn't back, so I literally was just sitting home, not showering, not eating, just
Playing Red Dead.
not going outdoors.
Same.
I just played the fuck out of that game.
That was great. No, but fuck, dude. Like, I can't say any more positive things about this game. Like, words haven't been invented.
Well, except for monumentous.
That's right. That's right. That's a fucking word, asshole. I know it
It's
is.
not.
It's not, dude.
Ask Siri again.
Monumentuous. Monument USA.
Weren't you gonna look up momentous? Because
Monumentous.
there's a word made up.
Of.
Oh, and look at that, monumental and momentous. Oh,
Monumental.
momentous.
I guess that was the word I was looking for.
Stupid.
But the word is there. The word is there.
Yeah, it's a fucking word.
It's a made-up word.
It's
It's
Urban
made
Dictionary.
up of those two words.
Did you just say Urban Dictionary?
I guess, whatever.
Urban Dickery.
That too.
Monumentous.
That too.
Yeah, but that's Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, it's not a real word. And if it is,
Okay, well,
It's not a
hold on.
real dictionary.
even if it were a real word, it would be one of
Are you
those
using
words.
Safari? No, you're using Google.
It would be one of those words that they
see.
added to the
Hold on,
dictionary
hold on,
just
hold on,
because
hold
dumb
on. Don't open
motherfuckers
Chrome.
kept using
Yeah,
it.
see, look.
Don't open Chrome. I won't open Chrome, bro.
He said Google, and I was like, oh shit, hang on.
See, every time I tried to hit monumentous, it just sends me to momentous. Did you mean momentous?
I didn't know how to spell it, so I
I
just
guess
guessed
momentous. Okay, I was a little wrong. Okay.
Monumentous is a made-up word.
I was a little fucking wrong, alright?
There's nothing wrong with that. It was just
I'm
funny.
a fucking cheesemaker, okay? I don't fucking deal with words, alright?
I was elected to lead, not to read.
Can't stop me with my cheese helmet.
That's
I love
brilliant.
that. What is that from?
It's Rainier Wolfcastle as
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
president.
say, is it Simpsons?
Yeah.
It was. Oh, that's right. It was
Isn't it from
one
the
of his.
movie?
Yeah, one
yeah.
of his movies.
Like, you can put those all together, right? Like, or is it the Rainier Wolfcastle ones?
Yeah, the
That's
Rainier
right.
Wolfcastle movies, if you put
Like,
them all together,
you can splice them together, and it's an actual episode.
like it's a full movie.
Like it's
But anyway,
Fuck you all.
we've talked about this game at length through various of our episodes just because this game is dope. Like, it's just, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like,
There is some wrong with it, in my opinion. I've had a lot of time to...
What did you say?
Yeah, I know.
You get the fuck out.
I've had a lot of time to sit and stew on it, and it... Like, I think that Rockstar game... This is the last time that we're going to see a Rockstar game like this. Because I feel like they are seeing pushback on, like, the way that the mission structure is made. Like, a lot of people are bitching about how, like, there's that one mission where you go up on the oil... that oil settlement place right there, where you got to sneak into the office and steal the documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very vague on what it says to do. It just says sneak into the office, and like some players got creative and was like jumping on top of the roof and was going to go through the window, and then it like and it's like mission failed, and it's like it didn't fucking tell me what to do. It just told me how to do it.
Yeah.
Rockstar has this certain way that it's very they have a very linear mission structure where it's like they have a certain way that this mission is supposed to play out, and if you don't play it exactly that way, then you're gonna have a bad time.
Like you might fail it because you're outside of the physical parameter of where it expects you to be. And...
Like I know that there's one mission, the one example that a guy was complaining about was the fact that the mission starts with you buying a fucking sniper rifle, and then it goes on through the mission. He's like, I'm gonna use my brand new sniper rifle to cover these guys, and then it's like, mission failed. You didn't fucking stay with your group, and it's like, then why the fuck did you have me buy a sniper rifle? You know what I mean? Like, and like, I don't really align with those, opinions. Like, I play these games the way that they want me to play them, just because I'm totally immersed. I'm 100% in it. Like, I'm completely immersed into this world and how they want me to play it. But,
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Like, I think the games like Breath of the Wild and like Metal Gear Solid 5, where they have this like limitless possibilities on how you can go and to do an objective, complete an objective. Right. We've been spoiled with games like that where they give you like, it's basically just a fucking sandbox, and it's like, here's a bunch of toys, here's a bunch of ways you can do this, have fun, and it is archaic in a way, this mission structure that they have, but that's almost kind of like the way Rockstar games are.
That's how it works, though. Like, that's what makes it fun, though. Like, you know what I mean? I follow the way that they want me to also, and I think the gripe is more that you can't be as creative as you want to be.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this is the last time that you're going to see a Rockstar game like this, because I do feel like that formula has grown archaic. Like, it has grown to the point where it's like, all right, people want more. Obviously, I'm not speaking for everyone here. I'm just speaking like, this is a common gripe that I've seen a lot. I've researched this game a lot, and I've never. A lot of people don't say, oh, I hate this game because of this. No, that's not it at all. They just wish that it would be different. You know what I mean? Like the mission structure would be different. It wouldn't hold your hand as much as it does.
I think Rockstar's going to keep their formula. Because
and that's what makes it a Rockstar.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
people are going to buy it.
Like with games like Metal Gear 5 and Breath of the Wild, they're really not heavily story-driven games, and so with Rockstar, if they have that formula, well, not as much, not as much anymore as these, but like with Rockstar with that formula, I think if the game is very story-driven, then the way that they have you do things will, like, for me, it helps like the story flow that much more.
Exactly, because like you want, instead of what am I trying to say? Instead of finding the creative way, they want you to finish it, as directly as possible so that you can keep the story going.
But at the same time, I would have liked to be able to, like, especially if I go back and do a second playthrough, like I would like to do things like a different way.
That's the roadblock that I come to when I'm like want to play it through again. I bought a whole nother fucking system to play this game through again. And, I'm saying, like, okay, and it's my own fault, and that's not really a valid criticism. And I'm not sitting here saying that I agree with these sentiments, because I fucking love this game all the way through. I'm just saying, like, there's a certain level of, don't hold my hand as much.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, when you brought that up, can you notice a difference between the 1X and the Pro Red Dead?
Big fucking difference.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's better on the X?
Yeah, it's way better.
So that's one thing I wanted to mention too, is that, like, as awesome as Red Dead was, I feel like some of the graphical things of Spider-Man were better.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Dude, like when Norman Osborn is soaking wet in the rain, compare that to any scene in Red Dead where somebody's wet.
Yeah.
I dare you.
I can agree with that.
Well, in Red Dead, if you go and if you wade around in a lake, like, there will be a line where you didn't immerse yourself in the water.
Right.
And that line will stay there until you're dry.
Yeah, and that's cool.
And that is cool, but like, just, man, like, it is so fucking beautiful in Spider-Man.
I feel like the way that I would put it,
those are kind of apples and oranges.
The way that I would put it is, like, each game had their own. Like, Red Dead looked a lot more. People looked a lot more realistic. Spider-Man, they were a little bit more animated. Yeah, but each aspect of those two games,
parts of Spider-Man that were dead ugly.
Did it for each other. Like, for example, like Spider-Man's animation was fantastic for its style, and Red Dead's was fantastic. You can't really compare the two because they don't have the same look.
They're both incredibly beautiful games, hands down, especially playing on like a PS4 Pro and 4K and everything.
When you pause and go into photo mode on Spider-Man, like, you can see every detail of his suit.
And that's what
or the fucking webbing.
Yeah.
That shit was so cool.
Dude, that's one of the things I wish Red Dead would have done better with was the photo mode, because you only had that, like, distance.
I didn't even use it.
Well, honestly. They didn't really, if you think about it, like, because you know how GTA 5 had where you could take a picture with your phone and then turn around and, like, take a selfie. But I can see why it was
that wouldn't make sense with Red Dead.
Lumbersome with Red Dead is because it was this giant fucking camera.
like a tripod. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been fun.
That would have been fun.
That would have been hilarious had they done that, just to make it all awkward, and that would have been great.
Yeah, that's just a minor gripe, though. It didn't take away from the game experience for me. Favorite missions? What was one of your guys' favorite missions?
The mission where you're basically kidnapping that army lieutenant, and with what's his name, Indian black guy that's part of your
Charles.
Charles. You're stealing him. You're kidnapping him away. I really love that mission a lot, mainly because of the music that plays. The music in this game. Can I buy it already, please?
Oh yeah, dude.
Fucking hell. The soundtrack for that game easily beats everything.
And unbroken.
And unshaken.
See, that's
And
the
shaken,
part that
that's
I
right.
loved the most. Like, I was seriously, like, I was so just pent up with emotion, like, during that last ride, that, like, I'm just sitting there, like, booking it, right? I'm just like booking it as this music is swelling, and I'm just like...
And it's not like they had over dramatic music, like, all the time. Like, they put it in the, like, spot on the right fucking spots in that game.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I found Guarma to be a little underwhelming.
I think Guarma, like if there wasn't a Guarma, I wouldn't have been mad.
yeah.
Yeah, like you could have easily cut that part out. That's why I love that song. That song is fucking amazing. But the thing is it's coming after a really underwhelming part of that game, in my opinion. So that part kind of fell flat. But the real one is when you're doing Arthur's final ride.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay,
Yeah, dude,
you're fucking doing it.
That final ride was just so fucking phenomenal to me.
My favorite mission was actually a side mission. I don't know if you guys ended up doing the Frankenstein type side
I loved
mission.
that.
I didn't finish it.
I did.
You did? Oh, dude, it was so fun.
Dude, that robot goes ham.
It does.
That's
ends
actually
up
one
killing
that
him.
Yeah.
I'm doing as John, actually, for
Okay.
Dragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that was probably like the most like sci-fi fun.
It was great.
It was awesome.
My absolute favorite mission though is the attack on the Braithwaite Mansion.
Oh God.
that was such a dope one.
Because like I feel like, and like there's tons of cues and scenes where you really kind of see this happening beforehand, but I feel like this mission is where you really see the cracks in what's his name? I have a plan. Dutch.
Oh, Dutch. Yeah.
You really see the crack in Dutch's like facade, where like he comes across as like this suave, like, hey, you know what? I'm a fucking leader.
Like, and he's always got his head about him.
Well, like in it, they really sell that in the first
Yeah.
moments of the game, where you're coming across, like some fucking shit just happened. Like
the game really does a good job of making you like Dutch in the beginning.
Oh, it does.
the beginning of the game starts with you're part of this gang, and you're running away from the law because you just had a horribly botched mission where Dutch fucking killed a little girl, like, and we don't really know if it's like on accident or if he meant to fucking do it. And they go into it more in the first game, where it's you come across that guy that won't tell you his name, but he's like, I know who you are,
And you chase him down.
and he's like, well, what about the girl that Dutch fucking brutally murdered? Like, shot her in the side of the head and her eyeballs hanging off and her brains pouring out of her fucking head. Like, if you didn't have that context for what happened at the beginning of this game,
Right.
that's why I'm sitting here going like, holy fuck, this is that mission.
Yeah.
It's a botched mission, a botched robbery that happened in Blackwater. So you're taking
and then on the tail of that, you're in a fucking blizzard. Everyone's like,
yeah.
One bad decision away from death.
You got a couple of dudes that are fucking dead. You've got a couple that are missing. You have no idea where they're at. It's a fucking blizzard, and so Dutch is supposed to be this like monolithic person to say like, hey, we can fucking do this. Like, we've been through some shit, but we can, like, he's a leader. He's like, I hate to say it, but he's kind of like a Joseph Smith type. He's like, hey, you know what? Like, shit seems really fucking bad right now, but if you believe in me, if you believe in the message that I'm giving you right now, we can fucking make it through this shit. And that Braithwaite mission is so fucking powerful, not only because of the music, again, but it's because, like, he does that thing where you break into that room where, the Braithwaite chick is sitting right there, and she's in there with her two last sons, right? Excuse me. And you break in, the one guy is holding, is like about to draw on you, so it goes into slow motion. You fucking kill him right in front of her. And then the other one's on the ground, like shot, I think. And Dutch goes up to him and like starts like pounding the fuck out of this woman, I think. And he's like, what do we do with the son? And he's like, boom, just fucking kills him right there.
No remorse whatsoever.
Yeah, and then he's like pulling this chick by her fucking hair like down, and you're playing the whole time like the mansion's on fire, like everything's coming down, you know, and like all of the rest of her family's like either burning or being shot to death. You know, like her whole entire fucking world is crumbling, and Dutch is just carrying her down the stairs by her fucking hair. Like, dude, it's such a powerful crit, and it's fucked up because you don't want to be doing this shit. I mean, like, this is how I felt when I was doing it. I was like, holy fuck, this ain't right.
Yeah.
You know, and then the mission ends with her, like, running back into a burning mansion because she just has nothing fucking left.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the mission where I took that video where I was going up the stairs, shot a dude, and like his head fucking explodes. I was like, oh my god!
Sidebar. I think I mentioned this the first time we were talking about Red Dead, but you can go back to the Braithwaite Manor and it's all in shambles and burned down.
Yeah.
But I went back there and I was just exploring because I'm like, oh, now I can be here without people fucking. No, they still came and attacked me.
No shit.
But I walked around the burnt mansion and I found her fucking charred body.
Wow.
In the mansion.
Yeah.
You take her brooch and you can go sell it for like.
There's apparently
30.
3 gold bars somewhere there too.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, I was just like, she's still there. Like that attention to detail. Like in any other game, if you would have like maybe tried to go back there, like it just would have been the house.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that there's never been, at least not many that I'm aware of, games that do pay that close attention to detail. So like going back there, I wouldn't expect her to be there.
Yeah.
Because that's just not a thing people bother with.
I think my favorite mission was, I'm trying to think, it might be the either the first home invasion that you do with Charles,
Awesome,
or the one I think you do it with Javier with the people that talked funny.
Yeah.
Those two right there, or the one where O'Driscoll's gonna hang and you dress up as police officers and you're
cool.
up on the roof and
that part
shit
was
goes
fucking
wrong.
rad.
It was so
then
cool to
O'Driscoll,
me.
the look on his
Yeah,
face,
because
he was like, fuck.
Because you get up there and you're like, okay, we've got this covered, and then
You fucking wave at him.
He's sitting there and he's all smug, like, yeah, my boys are here, and he looks into the crowd and he sees Dutch, and then he looks up and he sees you and you wave at him, and then like. There's not many games out there where you can tell how a character is feeling by their facial expression, and you see his face just change.
Yeah, he saw a ghost.
And
Like he just knew that it was over.
So mostly games will they'll oversell it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, you know, like freaking out, or he'll like, give a big you literally saw
like you could see it in his eyes.
It needs to go credit to the actor who was motion captioning that part, because like you literally see all fucking hope leaving that man's body.
Yeah.
That part's brutal as fuck.
I also liked a side mission where you get the moonshine for that professor because he's trying to create the electric chair and he ends up fucking killing himself.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That mission was
I loved it because like he has these people gather around and he electrocutes both him and the criminal, and then they are just like, oh, that was stupid. They just walk off.
So funny.
I'm like, 2 people just died in front of you. One of them wasn't supposed to. So I walk up and I'm like searching them. Like,
I needed them too.
You know what I liked, which was kind of it's silly, but like I really liked the side mission where you were helping that random dude lady that lost his animals. Like,
I never came across that one.
Really?
No.
Yeah, no, it was like this little circus sort of act.
Oh, yeah.
And he took and like painted up different animals, like a dog. To look like.
Okay, yeah.
See, my friend Neil told me about it, and I never came across him.
Yeah.
But like that was a little predictable though, that the very last one was an actual ferocious fucking lion. Like I knew that was coming. I mean, it had to. Like something had to make that interesting. But it was so fucking funny.
I wanted to ask you, Derek, did you come across the KKK at all?
I did a couple times.
Hell yeah, those were. I love those.
The first time was like at night when they were doing the rally and everything, And I didn't get to see the whole thing play out because I got a little overzealous and started shooting at him.
Well, if you
dying.
just walk up, like, because I walked up because I was trying to like be all nonchalant and trying to be quiet.
Yeah.
And I walked into like the back of the crowd, and one of them turns to me and goes, "Be quiet, he's talking." And I was like, I look nothing like you. You just think I'm here to listen to the Grand Wizard. Okay.
Yeah.
The next time I came across him, it was in the daytime, and they were setting
to hang
up
the cross.
Yeah, they were setting up, and then the cross fell on the two dudes, and I was like, ha! And then I killed the other guy.
They do not paint them in a really good light at all.
No, which I love. I love how biased it is. Just like, nah, fuck you, KKK.
Fuck the Klan.
Like, I loved that.
I think it worked out because it's like, I don't know exactly when they came about, but it feels to me like this is like the beginnings of them, you know, like, and they're just kind of like, we don't really fucking know what we're doing.
They're a bunch of bumbling, fumbling idiots.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it worked out
a little bit more than they already are today.
Nobody likes them anyways.
Yeah.
It's great. Another one.
I would love somebody to get upset about it. Like, hey, how dare you paint us in that light? I just think that would be a really hilarious thing for somebody
Dear
to
libtards.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one of my favorite missions was where you go get those 3 items for that slave trader.
Oh, dude, that
like
mission went really dark, really fast.
Yeah, dude, because you go and you get the gun and you get the watch and then you get the ledger and then you read the ledger and it's just like
you get ambushed because there's other people looking for it too, and you end up having to kill them. And that reminds me of the other mission that I really enjoyed. It was one of those ones that you kind of have to explore, like, to find, and it was the one of the gunsmith in Rhodes that had the kid chained up in his basement. And that just was like a barrage of just like, what the fuck, dude? Because I got down there and I was like, this is fucked up. Like
that was the one where he's like, what are you doing over there? Like when you're getting close, he's like,
whoa, you go down there and like you have to rob the guy basically, and he like takes you downstairs and there's this fucking kid tied up, and you're like, no, fuck this, like, I'm gonna just get you out of here and beat the shit out of this guy. And like right before everything happens, he just breaks down and he tells you what happened, and I was like, oh my fucking god, dude.
Funny story about that. When I did that mission, I killed him. I shot him in the head with an arrow.
I accidentally killed him.
No, and then like the next day I came back and it was him.
Yeah.
Just like, I know you. I don't
want
want
arrow sticking out of his head.
I don't want to start no trouble.
You know what I liked? In general, I wasn't a fan of Saint Denis because, you know, you could just sort of lightly bump someone and the police are after you. Mm-hmm. But like, I loved that there was that one dude that was talking about, you know, he was advocating the
eugenics,
separate races and eugenics and everything, and was all upset about the mixing of races. Every time I saw him, I went and beat the fuck out of him right in front of that cop, and the cop's just like,
they didn't do anything. Like, I straight up like punched him in the face, and he like fell over his table and got up and ran away, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I chased him down.
And I looked, and there was a cop just out in the street, just like standing there.
I chased him down several times and beat him to death, and no cop ever did anything. I loved it. That was so. That
reminds me of the one other guy you run into in Saint Denis, the French artist. Like, I loved every second of him.
Yeah, those were good missions.
Like when you go to his art gallery and he just paints like everybody's wife's naked.
Yeah. Or mothers. Mothers were in there too.
And then you have to help him escape. And then the very last mission you do for him, he's dressed up like a geisha. Yeah. And you have to help him get out of Saint Denis on the boat. And I was like, this is fucking awesome.
That was so funny.
It was crazy.
I just loved all the little random things that kept happening that I kept posting on Facebook. Yeah. So fucking
this was
funny.
Like the most. It was like the how am I gonna say this? It wasn't the most Rockstar I've ever seen. Like,
true.
If you've played a Rockstar game, you know that they heavily play on the
chaotic,
the satirical nature of like almost kind of like nihilistic views of the world, like especially in Grand Theft Auto. Like, you know what I'm talking about, like how they like massively viciously fucking lampoon like every aspect of, like, you know, capitalism and, you know, overconsumption of things, and like stuff like that.
Well, yeah, like
it wasn't really
the phone that you have in GTA 5 is called the iFruit.
Yeah. Like it's like, and anybody knows, what I'm talking about, but it's not prevalent in this game like at all. Like there's a couple of missions like, the Magic Drago or whatever his name is, the evil scientist guy.
Dragic.
Yeah, like he's kind of, I got that vibe from them, but this is more like a seriously grounded story that's
It
like
really is.
By the way, like, so this is the first game in the Red Dead series that I've ever played. Like I never played Red Dead or the precursor to that. But after having played this, I definitely want to go back and play Red Dead now because
I will say the only way you can play Red Dead Redemption on PS4 is PS Now. But you can go online and I think it's like $10. You can buy Red Dead Revolver, which is the first game. Has nothing to do with the Redemption series, but it's where everything started.
Well, and can you get it on PS3 still?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have that too.
Oh, well,
you have a PS3?
Yeah.
What the fuck, Derek? Why haven't you played the original Red Dead Redemption yet? God damn, that game.
You can also get the original Resident Evil 2 on PS3.
I already have it.
Yeah.
That's one of the first ones that I bought when I got my new PS3.
But yeah, no, so I'll need to play that now because, like, not having played that at the end of Red Dead 2, like, I was pretty upset that, like, Dutch walked away. I was like, motherfucker!
I want this to be a Red Dead Redemption spoiler cast because I want to say some stuff from the original game, but
fuck it, do it.
Do you have a gripe?
Yeah, I want to play it.
Yeah.
I will.
Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
What? Fuck!
Sorry.
It was the trees killing people.
Like, but because I mean, fucking Dutch left him for dead.
God, I'm so excited for you to play that game.
He's left, like, he's fucked over John, he's fucked over Arthur, he's fucked over everyone, and he's just like, all right, well, see ya, I guess. Like,
oh my god, that moment when you're going up to, and you finally find Micah.
Yeah.
Jesus
and
Christ.
He's got Sadie at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And Dutch comes out, and you've got your guns pointed at each one, and it's like, look at Dutch, and then look at Micah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, like this is like that standoff that you have in the earlier game where you're like there's like all three of you have your guns pointed at each
The
other.
old Mexican standoff.
Totally reminded me of The Office.
And then all of a sudden, Dutch just fucking shoots Micah, and he just walks away. And I was just like, I'll never forget like my reaction when like I thought Micah was for sure just gonna blast Sadie in the head, and that door opens up, and grizzled Dutch just comes walking out, and I was like,
I know, me too. I was like, whoa, man.
Yeah. Because nobody knew where he was. Like, it took you this long to find Micah. Like,
my favorite part of that whole encounter is when you're coming up on that big snowy hill, and then the three guys, and it's like, wing, wing, wing.
It's
the music.
Like, just one of you left, huh? And he's just like, yep, just me. And then there's like this moment where you just sit there, and then just fucking Deadeye all.
I love that. That was so badass. By the way, fucking Sadie could get it any day
of the week.
Only if she wants to.
Because we at the Nerd Corporation are pro consent.
We are professional at consent.
We are. We're no amateur consenters.
My biggest thing is I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on the first game, because all three of us played Red Dead 1 before we played Red Dead 2, which is a unique way of experiencing that story, because you experience everything in Red Dead 1 and you only hear stories of what happens in 2.
Yeah, so now I gotta do it like in a linear way.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you'll feel the same way that we feel. And like I've said this, and it's put quite the stick in a lot of people's craw, but this story, combined with Red Dead 1, is hands down the greatest Western story ever fucking told, and you're getting it from a fucking video game.
Absolutely. I will fight anybody.
It is the best. Like, not only is it one of the very best video game stories ever told, it is hands down the best Western story ever. Ever. I will fucking fight you. That shit
I'll back him up.
Is fucking brilliantly paced. It's
I'll try and back him up. I might just be standing there like, yeah, get him.
I mean, and you know, like we'll get into the epilogue here in a minute too, but god damn it, it's so good. Everything about it is so fucking good. Like not even having Arthur as part of like, you know, part of the canon or whatever. Like everything that comes, you know, the Dutch Vanderlyn gang, everything about it is so fucking compelling. God damn it.
Yeah.
And the way
you can shit on this game's like mechanics, the way the game plays, all you want. I don't fucking care. Whatever. You cannot touch this story. Nope. This story is fucking brilliant. And
the character attachment and like development in that game, like my god, like
Absolutely.
I was talking about this I think with my friend Neil when we were having coffee the other day, and I was like, if there was like a romance branch that you could take, dude, Sadie Adler.
Oh yeah.
Dude, yeah, that story was so cool. Like it was just, it's one of those stories because, you know, she starts off all meek. And
I honestly thought that it would be her that would be the second playable character.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd play as John.
I didn't either, and that, like, as soon as everything happened, and I was still just like ugly, just bawling. I was like, oh god. And then it's like sometime later, and I hear it, like the cat. I think the screen was still black, and you can just hear like John and Abigail and John Jr.'s voice, and then it opens up, and he's like, and then you just take control of him, and I was like, oh shit, dude, that's how they did it.
Yep.
Because I was like, how are you gonna keep going about doing your
business? At first, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I'm like, what? I'm like, am I really gonna have to fucking do this? And I'm like, how long is this?
And then you started building the house.
Yeah.
The best.
And you started building the fucking Marston compound. And
I thought the whole epilogue I thought was really cool. It was just like.
That epilogue.
It was just the culmination
goes places,
of John, you know. Yeah. It was just like him becoming like a full person, full character.
He's trying to leave that shit behind.
Yeah, well, and Arthur gave him a new lease on life.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So he's like, no, I gotta do right by Arthur
and
because he's working, he wanted me out.
He's working on this ranch that he knows jack shit about.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about ranching, but
so
he's doing it,
good.
And shit just keeps coming up that's like forcing him to go back into old ways.
Which I thought was unfair of Abigail. To
she got mad at the dumbest shit.
Yeah. She did. She got mad at the dumbest shit.
She's
we would have died had I not fought back. Well, how dare you?
She was like the Lori from Walking Dead.
Or Skylar from Breaking Bad.
And she's just like in my opinion, she's like a 100% unlikable character.
Yeah.
Like, I never, like, even in the first game, I'm like, you know the fucking shit I had to go through to get back here just to fucking see your ungrateful bitch ass?
My favorite part was, like, at the very end, when they're standing on the hill. Did you see that video?
Yeah, he just jumped off.
Yeah, she's talking about how happy she is, and they have their love and a home, and she starts walking off, and I throw myself off the cliff, and the best part of that whole thing, though, was he just goes, ah!
I loved it because he landed and then he gets up and he's like, Jesus Christ. No, but that one part where like she said that, you know, she was buying a dress or whatever, and she leaves with John Jr. Or is it Jack? It's Jack. Yeah, I keep wanting to say John Jr. But she leaves and you open up the box and his vest is sitting there.
Brilliant.
His iconic Red Dead vest, which you'll see in the first Red Dead game, and his hat, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, this is it.
Can we talk about that fucking reveal though, with the hat?
Yeah.
Arthur's hat. That's his hat. That's Arthur's fucking hat.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so fucking good. That was another tear. That was a tear that came
was
out
a
of my
weeping
face.
moment.
I was like, holy fuck, Arthur's hat is John's hat. And he fucking kept it through. All he did was put a little feather in it.
And I loved how, because I was wondering after I beat the game, I was like, okay, so what? Do I just go do these stranger missions and be like, hi, I'm John? Yeah. And I was like, how's this going to work? And the first thing
that's
that
exactly
I did,
how it works.
The first thing that I did is I was like, oh, dude, I still have some Hamish missions that I have to go do.
Yeah.
And those were my favorite, like, side missions to do. Like, so I went back and he's like, hey, my acquaintance like helped you and saved you and your horse.
Yeah.
And he invites him in. They have coffee. Like, almost an entire day passes, and then they go hunting, and I was like, that transition was spot on. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm John, I'm Arthur's friend. Cool, you want to go hunting? Yeah. Like, they sat down and they bonded and talked, and then it was like, all right, let's go.
So, one of the things that I kind of regret not having done, you know that the British dude that's wandering aimlessly looking for his friend?
Gavin.
Have
you seen my friend Gavin?
I was so tempted so many times to gun him down.
Dude, well, he's in, what is it, Blackwater. He like in the epilogue, he's just like, Kevin, and I went up there to talk to him, and he's just like, so how long has Gavin been gone? And he's like, oh, like 3 years.
Yeah, he's just, and like you can't interact with him other
than
that.
There's actually a thing I read online that like people were trying to like delve into that whole
desperately trying to find this man's friend.
There's
Gavin.
nothing. There is nothing.
Yeah.
There's no backstory. By the way, did you guys ever do the whole like the serial killer thing?
No, I didn't.
I
came across the first one.
Yeah, and I got the note, but I saw nothing else. I finally, in the epilogue, found a fucking dinosaur bone, though.
Oh, really?
No shit.
The one and only one that I've seen.
Yeah,
I found it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I never found a single one.
Yeah, I didn't find or
I
honestly
totally
I found one of those. Yeah. I have not seen a single like weird marking on a wall ever since I started that quest. But I finally found the dinosaur bone though. So.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's so many crazy ass little pieces that like I was saying, you know, in some of the first episodes where we were talking about this game feels like a gigantic fucking machine with millions and millions of little cogs that are just working in tandem, and it just fucking brilliant.
See, the only thing that kind of made me sad, like, so my rep was pretty much like a little in the negative, but basically like right in the middle, right, like the whole game, because I would try to be a nice guy. I would try to be a good guy, but like, for example, like if I said hi to somebody like in passing, and they talked shit, I would immediately stop and talk shit, and then I'd end up gunning them down.
Yeah,
because I'd be like, "No, you motherfucker! I said hi. I'm being nice, and you're being a little bitch." And
hey,
then,
mister.
You know, yeah, exactly. And so anyway, so like I never could get my rep all that high, and so like, but then by the end of the game, you know, I felt like I had to do the right thing. Not because the game wanted me to or made me, but because it was the story. It was the story. Like I you know, Arthur's trying to redeem himself, and
see, but I don't feel like you don't.
And so
by
the end, my rep was like at the top.
You don't see that part of Arthur until he realizes that he's gonna die.
Yeah,
like I feel like because there's some early parts in that game where he's a real fucking asshole. Like that part when. That guy, the guy that you get fucking TB from, he fucking died.
Yeah.
So you're going to pick up the money from the wife and the child, and the mom's like, we literally don't have fucking anything, but I guess I'll give you what we have left. You know? So she goes into the house, and then the boys out there like talking all kinds of crazy shit to Arthur, and he says the coolest fucking line, but it's just evil. It's just like, and like you see his fucking face, and it's part of the trailer too. He's like, you know, you keep doing that shit, I'll keep your mom in black on your behalf. And I'm like, you cold-hearted motherfucker. Like, you are, like, this guy's a fucking savage. Like, he's done some fucking shit. You know what I mean? And that's what makes his whole redemption arc, you know, from, you know, of course, the name of the game. Like, and I feel like Arthur's redemption is way better than John's redemption. Like fucking leagues better. Like, it's in a whole fucking different state. It's much better. Like, the way that he goes across, like, you know, he saves Jack and Abigail and John, and not only that, but like you get to the point where, you know, like there's these missions that you do for the German guy. What's his name? Strauss.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I love the end of that.
So these guys, and I got a question for you, but it's at the end of this long ramble. So it's you know, this guy's named Strauss. He's this, you know, German guy, and he basically does like
money lending,
loan sharking.
Predatory loans.
Yeah, like predatory for sure. And so he comes across Arthur, and he's like, hey, you know, these people all owe us money, go get it. And like the first one you come across is this guy that doesn't speak any English at all. He's just on this farm.
Felt so fucking bad doing that mission.
I didn't at all. I totally ate up the whole bad guy thing. Like, you know what? You shouldn't have asked for money from this scrawny, like this squirrely little German dude. You know what I mean?
If you knew you couldn't pay it back,
and
you
like,
shouldn't be borrowing
I
that.
did that. So I did it on PlayStation, and I like didn't really find anything. And then I did it again on Xbox, and like I like totally like went into the bad guy mode where I'm searching every fucking part of your house, like. And the thing is like you'll start noticing that like the guy's like like blocking like a drawer or a cupboard or something, and you have to go up and say, hey, get the fuck out of the way. What are you hiding in there? You know what I mean? And that's where you find like all the money, the stuff that's worth the most money. And so, and like at the end of there, that's where you come across the guy with TB, where you contract it and all that. And then, so what happens is that you end up feeling really fucking bad for doing what you're doing. So you end up either like forgetting the debt entirely.
Well, and it's kind of gradual too.
Yeah.
Like he just gets more and more uncomfortable like with this situation each time he goes out to collect.
And it's made even worse because you continually run into that family of the man that you got TB from. Mm-hmm. Like the mom turned into a fucking prostitute, like trying really hard just to be able to support her kid and herself. And then the kids they're in this mining town, and the only way
he is either oblivious or he's just numb to the fact of what she's doing.
Yeah, well, he's got to know. Yeah. He's got to know, and he's got to be ashamed about it. But he wants her to stop, so he gets a job going to this mining company, which is notorious.
They all treat him like shit.
Well, not only that, but they're notoriously known for, like, people are fucking dying because they can't breathe because they're continuously getting shit in their lungs, you know what I mean?
Got the black lung pop.
Yeah, so all these fucking people are dying, and there's this really cool mission where Arthur goes up there, and you take him away and be like, you're not fucking working here, know. And there's several missions where you're like, giving him money and they like deny it.
Well, and I love that how he's like, how they're like, this doesn't absolve you of your wrongdoing. He's like, I don't give a fuck. That's not what I want. Here, just take the goddamn money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be a saint. I'm not trying to get forgiveness. Just fucking take the goddamn money. You need it.
I fucking feel bad.
You need it. I have it. Here you fucking go.
I know this isn't gonna it's not gonna save me. Just do it. Just take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, and it goes back to the Strauss missions where you either, there's some of them where you'll forget the debt entirely, or you'll even go as far as like fucking pay the debt off for themselves and give them a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know if you guys ran into this, but if you go back to the camp, you can kick Strauss out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did that.
Yeah,
like
that's fucking awesome. Like
I love that. He's just like, get the fuck out of here.
As soon as you go to camp, it goes into a cutscene. Arthur jumps off his horse. He walks right up to Strauss. He grabs his fucking bag and he throws it across. And he's like, "Get the fuck out! Fucking leave! Get out of here!"
That part so much.
And apparently, if you don't go back to camp, he just leaves on his own volition.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But it's funny because you'll hear little snippets from like law enforcement where they'll be talking about Strauss, and he's like, "Yeah, never gave up anybody, but he's dead now. Like he died in prison." It's little shit like that where it's like, all right, the son of a bitch got what was coming to him.
Yeah.
But he never gave anyone up, so he's got that. Yeah. He had that going for him.
At least he had some form of loyalty, I suppose.
I guess some.
Yeah, he was real fucking evil. But
speaking of Strauss, I loved that mission where you go play poker and you're watching Strauss like signal because he's counted the cards and everything.
Yeah.
Like that just was so fucking cool.
It's not on the boat.
Yeah.
The high risk poker.
That was a cool mission. I liked that one a lot. Well, and I loved doing the wanted poster missions and all that.
Yeah.
And
wanted poster missions were fun.
Like I loved where the fact that you could actually, people would jump you and try to take your bounty. You could take other people's bounties.
Yeah.
Like that was really fun for me, especially like the one where did I post a video? I don't think I posted a video of this one. I had stolen somebody's bounty, and the town that I would have needed to take him to was like the opposite direction of where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that where I was like right at the crest of this huge cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped my horse, hopped off, grabbed the guy, threw him over my shoulder, went to the edge of the cliff, and just hucked him in. It was so fucking funny to me. I guess I'm a little sadistic, but I just hucked him in. Just watched him tumble down.
I had somebody tied up and I threw him in the lake once.
Yeah.
One of the more fucked up habits that I developed while I was playing this game is that periodically you'd get jumped on the road, and by like O'Driscolls or who have you, and I would eventually I'd fuck them up because I'm a fucking playable character in a video game, and of course I'm not gonna die, so I'd fucking blow their brains out. And then they'd, their bodies would be on the road. But the thing is that if someone comes across and, sees you there, then now you're wanted or whatever, And then there's, crime being investigated, So what I would do is I'd kill them. And then I would pick their bodies up and then I'd go hide them in bushes.
Well, see, what's fucked up, though, what kind of made me mad a couple of times was, there was once where I had come across a dude who had stopped and robbed this stagecoach and was, holding the people at gunpoint and about to kill him. And so I killed that dude, and all of a sudden I had a crime that I was like, I know I fucking saved him. I'm being good. I'm being helpful. Yeah. How dare you?
See, the crime system that they have in this game is wildly inconsistent for me. There were times where I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why do I have a one?
Well, there was a mission that I did where I think you go with somebody and you, as many times as you do, and you just go fuck up an O'Driscoll camp.
Yeah.
And there was a cabin, and we finished the mission. I walked into the cabin and I was searching it, and all of a sudden, as soon as I'm walking out, there's nobody else around. I just become wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around who did this?
And then you've got when you kill a bad guy and you're going through his pockets and you get negative rep. I'm like, but he's a bad guy. What the fuck do you care?
Well, see, but that kind of plays into another issue that I have with the game. There's a moment in time where you're playing the game and you're trying to play as a good guy, and all this shit. And then you go on a mission where you kill 30, 40 fucking people.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. There's just it clashes tonally for me, and it doesn't make a lot of sense.
And the other thing too, and this is weird because I expected something bad to happen from it because I was doing a bad thing.
You don't say.
You don't say.
But okay, so
we spiked like crazy.
So I wanted to put somebody on the train tracks.
Just the way that you said, because I was doing a bad thing.
At least you could admit.
So I wanted to tie somebody up and put them on the train tracks. Okay. I wanted to find a bad person so that maybe, I wanted to test it, see if it would hurt my rep, whatever. Couldn't find a bad person.
Yeah.
So I ride up to a train station, and there are those dudes there playing checkers. I don't even get off my horse. I pull out my lasso and just huck it at him and start pulling him in. And he's like, whoa, what? Why are you doing this, mister?
Yeah.
And I hop off my horse, hog tie him, pick him up. And there are other dudes sitting outside of the train station, right?
Yeah.
Just watching this go down. And I go and I lay him down on the train tracks. Train comes, kills him, and like I said, people are watching. No crime. I do get a negative mark on my rep, understandably, but no crime.
Because you did a bad thing.
I did a bad thing.
A couple things that I was going to mention. I, honest to God, just forgot the first thing. The videos that popped up of funny shit going on in Red Dead, that was my shit.
Yeah.
I saw this one video where it wasn't the one where the girl gets hit by the deer. It was another one
so
where
funny.
she was I think it was the same woman, just without that glitch.
Yeah.
But she was like, I need help. Can you get me home? And he's like, sure. And then the next clip from the video is from the cinematic angle, and it's just him fucking dragging her with his rope through the countryside.
So, and it might be the same woman. No, it totally wasn't. So there was this one part where, I come up on this woman whose horse had died and fallen on top of her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, help me, mister." So I pull the horse off, and, she's kind of hobbling around, and she wants me to take her back to town.
Uh-huh.
So she hops on, I get on my horse, and she hops on, and then I hop off to go, I think, skin an animal that I had killed, like, as I was getting there in the first place.
Yeah.
And she gets back off the horse, and she's, like, talking shit. Like, "Get back on your horse, motherfucker. Take me to town."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, bitch, I'll be there." And so I finished skinning, and she's like, "Fuck it, I'll walk." And so, like, she's hobbling away. Like, her leg, she's got a bad leg. She's hobbling away.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, look, come on, let's go. So I get back on my horse, and I ride up next to her, and she just, bitch keeps walking. She's like, "Nope, you had your fucking chance."
It reminds me of Key and Peele. Megan! Yeah.
Megan, wait! The other thing I was going to mention is, like, the reaction that I had when you get to the redneck, like, backwoods area.
Are you bored?
Like the Braithwaites and the...
No,
those?
the Murphrees area.
Oh.
And you set up your camp there.
The hill people.
Yeah, the hills have eyes people.
Exactly.
And there was one point where I was going back to camp, and I'm like, oh, it's dark, and my stuff's low. I'm going to set up camp and, cook some meat or whatever. And I set up camp, and, like, I can't do anything with the camera. And I was like, what? My controller hasn't died yet. Like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden you just hear this, "That fire's mighty warm. Mind if I sit down?"
Yeah.
And one of them just, like, sits next to me, and I'm like, okay, this is creepy. Because he fucking looked terrifying.
Yeah.
And then out of frame, you just see this arm with a gun, like, point at the back of my head. And just, like, cock. And I was just like,
fuck?
oh,
Yeah,
dude.
I
like,
remember that one.
Shit's going down.
I never
And I
saw
just,
any
like,
of
I
that.
just got up and just, like, like, double barrel, dead eye, just...
Yeah.
But, like, that happened to me consistently. And there was this one time, this actually, like tripped me out, is this one time I was camping, and this, like, woman, like, ran up, and she was like, "Oh, it's so cold outside. Can I sit by your fire?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So she's sitting there, and she's just, like, babbling off a bunch of nonsense. She looks haggard as fuck. Like, she looked like one of those Murphys or whatever, And she was like, she got, like, paranoid. She's like, "Wait a minute, why are you looking at me like that?" And I'm just like, my character's, like, staring into the fire. I'm like, "I'm not looking at you." And she's like, you have that look in your eyes that my uncle had. She just took off running. And I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Whoa.
Did you come across the brother and sister?
Mm-mm.
Like,
I've heard about that, but I haven't seen it yet.
I came across them. So it's just this one random cabin that you roll up to, and there's this fat, disgusting dude just sitting there in a pair of overalls out on the porch, and he's like, "Why don't you come on in, have some dinner?" Da-da-da-da. So you go in, and, like, there's this fucking, like, bomb-ass voluptuous chick there, like, she's fucking ready to go, and she's being all flirty and just talking dirty and shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go change and get ready for dinner," because, you're like, "Yeah, I'll stay for dinner." And so she leaves, and then you and the slob dude are just sitting there talking, right? And he's like, "Why don't you go on up and check on her?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, go on up and check on her." And I don't remember if at this point they've specifically mentioned that they're brother and sister yet. I think they did. I think it's pretty obvious right off the bat.
It's implied.
Yeah. But anyway, so you go upstairs, and she's being all, like, coy, and like, it was funny too, because I walked up and, like, bumped her, like, I walked a little too close, and she's like, "Don't get overzealous now." Like, she's like, "There'll be time for that," dude. Like, so fucking funny, dude. Yeah. And so you go back downstairs, you have dinner, and they're, like, giving you drinks, and they put something in the drink that knocks you out, and then they rob you and shit.
Okay.
And so then, like, you wake up, like, outside in a different place, like they've just dumped you after they stole all your shit. Because it's funny too, it, like, my heart sunk, because, like, after it fades out, your money just goes to zero.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. And I had, like, $1,500 or $2,000 at this point, and, like, it just goes and it's gone. And I was like,
one of the. Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you.
Oh yeah, no. It's just a little bit more.
Oh.
But so you wake up like kind of fuzzy headed outside, like it's the next day or whatever, and like you're not like super far away. So I remembered where I was, went back there and just gunned them down, just straight gunned them down. And like there's a painting of their mom that you like open and behind there's like a little safe sort of like cubby sort of thing, and there's all your shit and you get it all back. And I was like, okay, oh god, woo! Like that was really scary. But anyway,
dude, one of the random happening missions that I came across that like I still think about, like I came across this cabin, and I don't know if any of you guys found this, but like there's just this old lady sitting in there, and she thinks that you're there to do, I can't remember what it was, there to do something, and you go down into her basement, yes, and there's like a shotgun down there that you can just take, and then you leave, and she goes, hey, get back here. And I just like fucking took off. I was like, mine now, you bitch! And I took off running, and then like much later, I was leaving. You know that guy that is trying to photograph the animals? And
Yeah.
I was leaving the mission that I did with him, where he almost gets killed by wolves. And I came across this cabin. I'm like, oh, this looks familiar. Oh, this is that old lady's house. And I parked my horse and I get up and start walking, and I hear like these voices in the cabin, and I'm like, oh shit. And it's like, I guess her sons were in there, like, we just want a better place for you to live. And she's like, I don't want to leave. She's like, I want you two to leave. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm like, I'm gonna go make myself known. So I start walking up to the door, and the door just swings open, and one of the guys comes out, and he's like, who the hell are you? And you see the old lady come out, and she goes, that's that motherfucker that robbed me.
Oh,
and I was
really?
like, oh shit. So they just started shooting me, and I shot them both, and she's like, you son of a bitch. And she's like shooting at me. So I fucking had to shoot her. And like, and then like I was just like, she like called me out on my shit. Like she knew who I was.
That's crazy.
The old bat remembered.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a sad one.
Oh, do we gotta talk about it?
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. We gotta
though.
talk about it. How did y'all feel when you lost your horse?
Okay, so my horse was named for Pie Hero.
Yeah.
So, well, I had two horses. I had Cassidy, and then I had Sassity, because she's sassy and it fits, and other people call her that, and it is not my fault. But, so she doesn't know about, she knows that I named a horse after her, and she knows that it died. But I couldn't tell her how, because I didn't want to spoil anything.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know, man. It wasn't. All I could tell her was it wasn't my fault. But like, I felt so bad. I was like, no, Sassidy's dead.
So I had two horses, and they were both female horses, and I named them both Respucia. I named it. How you doing?
See, I can't stand that shit. But
so it was Respucia and Respucia 2, right? And Respucia 2 was my Arabian. And like that's who I ended up having like for the rest of the game. And when she got shot, I fucking audibly was just like, Respucia, no! I was like, Respucia, no!
dude, it was hard.
I'm a little bit different because I didn't have, like, I went through a few different horses throughout the game, actually. So, like, I didn't have one horse that I was stuck on for too long because I'd, like, take him back to the stable and I'd, like, buy another one because you get those messages where it's like, you can buy better horses now in Saint Denis. And so I'm like, oh, shit, okay. So I went and bought, like, I bought a black Arabian. That was the one.
I bought a fast ass horse there.
That was the one that I like took with me through the rest of the game. But so like as soon as it happened, I was like, oh my god. And then, but I wasn't on this level of sad. But the part that got me is when, as you're running away, he leans down to the horse and goes, "Thank you." I was like, oh god, no. I was like, oh no.
So
Cole, you didn't change your horse at all.
okay. I gotta.
As he wipes his eyes.
Well, because this part really fucked me up. Like, I went through this entire game, and I don't even know why. Like, I don't know why it was more like a challenge in the beginning. I'm like, because everyone was, posting videos of funny ways that their horse died, and I'm like, I'm gonna go through the entire game with just one horse, and then it gradually becomes more than just a challenge, because you gotta take care of them, you gotta feed them, you gotta get off and you pet them and you pat them and you say, hey, good boy or good girl or whatever,
you're all right.
And it's obviously it's meme fodder at this point, but I never found it to be weird. It was always all right, this is my relationship with my horse, and it's kind of more like almost kind of the same relationship that you have with a dog. It wasn't just a means of travel; it was a companion.
Well,
this horse went through he went through the entire game with me. You know
think
what I mean?
All of us are kind of the same way.
Of course.
We're at least as, if not more, connected to animals and pets than to people.
Yeah, of course.
And
I went through some fucking shit with this horse. I found genuine camaraderie with a fucking pixelated polygon horse on a TV screen. And I don't know what that says about me, but I I had that whole thing where I talked about how we would I named him Wiener, because I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Why am I naming my horse? This thing's gonna die, So I named him Wiener as a fucking joke, and I had that previous thing in a different cast where I was talking about how I used Wiener to sit in the middle of the road and I'd come out of the shadows to fucking
steal a stagecoach
to rob a stagecoach, and not only that, Angela can testify to this. I would have serious fucking issues in Saint Denis where I would, I'd get a really bad wanted level, and I would go through some shit, trying to get away from the fucking law. And hell or high water, I would save my fucking horse every time. Every time something bad would happen, I'd get knocked off and he'd be on the ground. Instantly I'd, kill all the people that are chasing us, and I'd, get down there and give him a horse reviver. And that's why this moment is so... It's probably the most emotional part of the entire game for me, because I don't really feel like anybody had that level of camaraderie with Arthur like his horse did. I felt like his horse was the one thing in this world that he felt was pure, was
constant,
like a constant light in his life, and that point was 100% driven home when you're shot off your horse and your horse is on the ground dying, and that, oh my god,
he's gonna cry,
dude. That part when you bend down and he doesn't know what to say, but he knows he has to say something, because this is his literally his only fucking friend in the world, so he has to say something. You know what I might be looking into this too much, but
no, he's got to say something, because people are trying to kill him, and he's got to say something and
move on.
Yeah, exactly. This is the one fucking thing in his life that may or may not have brought him some joy. You know what I mean? A constant. And now this thing's dying on the ground, and you can't do anything. You're helpless. You can't do anything to save this horse. And so all he can muster up to say is thank you. And I fucking lost it.
Dude, no, that's exactly what I was just saying. If he had just run away in fear of his life, then I would have been like, oh no, your horse. But that
they didn't have to fucking do that.
That showed.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
That showed a sense of not only between like you and your horse, but between him and the horse. Like
exactly.
A sense of like, no, this wasn't just a horse.
It was
like
a connection.
I'm saying thank you for all that you did for me.
Like
You
that would have
fucking did so much for me. Yeah.
That would have been no more powerful than it was had it been like John or someone to me.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
like that was just so like rip my fucking heart out. Why don't you?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is like and that's why like those 2 words was all he could muster, because he knew he's not being over sentimental. He's not, you know, like, and he's not being.
That's just not his wheelhouse.
You know what I mean? He's not like.
He's not cradling the horse like, why?
He's not doing that, and then he's
God,
also,
why are you taking it from me?
He's also, they didn't do the whole thing where he's like, he just like looks down and then runs away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, pays it no fucking mind. He's like, no, god damn it, this is my fucking friend, and he's dead, like he's dying, and I can't do anything about it. I gotta save John. I have to fucking save John. That's what this is all about. I have to save John. You know what I mean? And that part, like, that's gotta be like top 3 video game moments of all time for me. And I know I'm just an over sentimental fool, but like goddamn, that part just,
You're our gentle giant.
oh, it just fucking ruined me.
The other part that got to me, because there were many certain parts in the game where I kind of like I got choked up, but I didn't like physically like just oh my god. But that part right there, like I had physical like waterworks and everything. I wasn't like
I did the whole like I'd like close my eyes because I knew I was gonna
in the voice like.
And
I
then
knew I was
you
gonna
blink,
fucking
you
cry.
blink, and they, you know, they fall down. Like, what is this song?
Like when he
Discharge.
bends down and says thank you, I like closed my eyes and I was like, oh my fucking
But
God.
like the other part that just got to me was the part right before the everything ends, when you're up on the ledge and you're just fucking Micah up, like just fucking him up.
It goes on a little
And
too long.
This is the point where his TB is like fucking him up, like like you ain't got long,
gonna
motherfucker.
die. You're gonna die.
And he's laying there. He tries to go for his gun. Dutch comes out of nowhere and like steps on it, and they run off. And he manages to like get himself away, and he just props himself up like against a rock. And the profile shot is like from here, so you see like his silhouette profile
Off the
and
sunset,
the sun's just setting, and I'm pretty sure you can just see like just. And I was just like, oh fucking no, dude! Like that just got me so hard.
I wish you would have said that someone shot your wiener.
Yeah.
Well, so the funny thing is, the funny aside from this is I watched Angela do the ending too, because I wanted to see her reaction of everything that's going on. And she didn't give a fuck about her own horse.
What?
She was like,
Heartless.
but the thing is she sees that scene go down, and she has this face of realization where she looks at me and she's like, Wiener. She's like, oh my god, Wiener.
Even she knew how attached you were to
God.
that horse.
And I love her so much.
That's
She
hilarious.
just fucking didn't give a fuck about her horse, but she's just
Sad face.
oh my god, it was so funny.
That's hilarious.
So, and like, I had a lot of sentimental moments in the epilogue too, because I don't know, it's just a different John than what we're used to. You know, like John is more like Arthur in his own game, so he almost kind of seems like not really childish, but like immature in a way, because he's like, you know, he's trying to get away from all the shit, you know, like, so he goes to this point where he's working on a farm as a ranch hand, you know, and he's like, you know, like they kind of live there somehow, like in a guest house or something.
He was just really green.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. He's definitely green, and so now, you know, he's like trying to leave that life behind, and Abigail's constantly on his fucking ass about everything. You know what I mean? Like
Like a wife.
Which is why I jumped off
like
the cliff.
a wife.
You know, and I just loved all the little moments where, you know, it would cut back to like a thing that reminded him of Arthur. Like I love the idea that he gave Abigail Arthur's ring that he gave to his wife.
I almost cried when he proposed to her too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, it's a great scene, and
she's like, "We're already married."
Yeah. And I love that epilogue. It went on a little too long, but I thought it was great.
It was a really nice conclusion to the fact that, well, he saved me, and this is what he wanted for me, and I'm gonna do right.
Yeah,
I loved it just because I was like, more Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
Like,
and it plays off of the first one so well too, because like you're building a fucking life for this guy, his kid, and his wife. Like this guy is set. Like he's got everything he wants in life. And then only us knowing what happens in the first game, and with shit being taken away from him, and that's why he's fighting so goddamn hard in that first game to get back to what he was. His life's on pause. You know what I mean?
So, have you seen that meme where it's just a meme of the farmer, and it's like, it's not much, but it's honest work. So I saw one where it was like, when you work all day on the ranch and earn $3, and it was just John's face imposed over it. It's like, it's not much, but it's honest work.
I forever blame things on lumbago now when I'm lazy.
I got lumbago.
I got lumbago.
Yes, he'll ask me to like throw the trash out or do the dishes, and I'm like, damn it, woman, don't you see I got lumbago?
That's a made up word.
I have two like kind of issues with the game that I want to get out there. Disclaimer, I fucking love this game if I haven't been able to prove that enough. Arthur walks and feels like he's 100% been covered in molasses. Like the way that they animated that character, like he just, I don't know. He's just hard to control sometimes, and everything feels so slow and deliberate. This game doesn't respect your time at all. But the thing is that that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing.
Well, it's just the era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything was slower. Everything was paced because, there weren't restrictions. There weren't time restrictions. He didn't have to go to work. He didn't have to do anything. So he did as he pleased.
Yeah, I mean, like minor gripe. That's all I'm saying is that sometimes it just felt like, and like turning around and like trying to pick stuff up and like you got to methodically pick every fucking thing up.
I got irritated a lot at the fact that, and this again, minute complaint, the fact that you couldn't go faster than a walk in the camp.
Oh god, that was annoying.
That was
really
obnoxious.
And segueing into my next thing, the camp, like providing for the camp. Why? Yeah, they're always bitching about how much more fucking meat they need.
Well, and that's what's weird is that like,
where the fuck have you been, Arthur? It's like I don't fucking know.
Like a cut of everything you get automatically goes to the camp. So why are they bitching at you? You're earning money for the camp no matter what you're doing.
And why would I put extra money inside the contribution box when nobody fucking else is doing it?
Yeah.
Like there's like 2 or 3 other people in there and they add like 25 cents, 15 cents. I sell one for 7 cents. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's
fucking
right,
Micah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right below right on top of my fucking $1,500 that I just put in the box. Like, why am I doing this? Like, this doesn't. I don't know. I felt like it was a missed opportunity because it kept feeling like my efforts were in vain. Mm-hmm. Like,
Well, and the thing that I felt like, because nobody contributed shit to the box, but it's like, I feel like it was kind of maybe Rockstar's way of saying like, hey, you can upgrade your camp like yourself, like you can build this, like if you spend your money on it. I don't know, maybe it was just like they didn't want to just hand you an upgraded camp on a silver platter.
Of course, and I understand that, but like, why would I do that for a bunch of ungrateful fuckers that just fucking sit around? Like, a lot of these people are drunks, and all they do is fucking just sit around and do nothing and claim they have lumbago.
Talking about you, Reverend.
Well, and you know,
well, his vice was heroin. So
I was sad that like Arthur never got any. I wanted Arthur to get some pussy, and he got nothing.
See, and that's kind of like following I get it. I get what you're saying. But like that's kind of following this long tradition of Rockstar protagonists not, except for in Grand Theft Auto, because in 4 and 5 you can hire hookers. But like in Red Dead you couldn't do that.
No,
you couldn't do that in the first Red Dead.
Did you guys ever take a bath with John? And the lady would knock and be like, "Hey, do you need any help in there?" And he's like, "I'm a married man, no thank you."
I didn't do it with
Get
John.
the fuck out.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't do it with John, but I did it with Arthur. I posted that? Didn't I? That picture.
But yeah,
where
no,
it looks like because she
just reaching in.
You're 100% getting a hand job.
Well, but that's the thing, because she'll have a sponge or whatever, and she dunks it into the water, and then starts washing your back or whatever.
Yeah.
But she dunks it right down up in your business.
She may or may not be tickling your butthole.
Yeah, she's clearly giving you a little bit.
I never had that before. But yeah, no. If you do it with John, he refuses the lady outright. You don't get to get the option.
Yeah.
Right on.
So then he just washes himself.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Fuck would I do that?
What kind of weirdo?
What kind of life is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's he gonna have small talk with?
I've come across a rather long stretch of bad luck.
It's been a hell of a year.
This makes up for a little bit of it.
I got TB and he's got lumbago.
So that concludes our spoiler cast for Red Dead Redemption 2. If you haven't played the game, please go. We have all...
Even though we've talked about a lot of it, I feel like it's something you have to experience firsthand yourself.
It's
because there's still so much more.
I mean, it's entertaining to hear about, but it's a totally different thing to go through it yourself and experience.
Because we mentioned that Arthur dies and a bunch of other people die, and our favorite missions, but that's the tip of the iceberg right there.
So please go check it out. You'll have a great time. We all love it. It didn't win all those game awards for nothing. It was great. And
just make sure you dedicate a very large amount of time to it.
Absolutely.
Don't go into it expecting a 9-10 hour experience.
As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcourt Podcast.
Or you can email us at nerdcourtpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you're looking to donate to our contribution box for our camp...
Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it.
But please do it.
Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcorepodcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers to shirts to add-ons and bonus content. So for the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm Derek Reese.
I'm Nick Lewis.
You're okay, boy.
Don't fucking say that.
You're alright.
Don't fucking say that, dog.
Bro, I'll bring up Wiener's death again. I don't give a fuck.
I know you will. You're a fucking heartless asshole.